Saints Nation, welcome to the Saints Gaming CA channel once again as we are here with the very final UCEA regular season Rocket League match. Of course, St. Clair College up against our Ontario counterparts in Durham College. Looking forward to this matchup. It should be a banger, and I'm just curious to see how Durham have changed since the last time that we did play them. It's been a good while since the last time that we had the opportunity to play them. So, with it being near the end, and it's almost playoff season for both UCEA and the NACE leagues, we'll get to see what happens here tonight. My name, of course, Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners, going to be your host here for tonight's matchup. As you can probably hear in the background, players are getting ready to hit the field already, as per usual. These guys not going to waste any time getting into the action. But before we do hop onto the field ourselves, let's take a look at our starting lineup for St. Clair College. Of course, we have the usual three. We have Tyler Bellavance, that's Fusion, Ryan Gray, Kariz, and Kamal Alariri on the starting lineup once again. Of course, 2 esports students and a networker round up our squad here today. And it looks like we're still waiting on Durham to arrive, so it'll be a couple more moments before we get into the matchup. Unfortunately, don't have any specific stats here for the leagues themselves. Unfortunately, that kind of information has been eluding me, to say the least. A little bit hard to find. With that being said, last time we played Durham, I think, would have been last season. Unfortunately, I cannot exactly recall how that matchup itself went. But from everything that I've been telling me, this was a match to look for. This was going to be 2 heavy hitters, of course, not only in the UCEA Rocket League scene in general, but our Ontario esports scene as well. Of course, Durham near the Oshawa area in Ontario as well. And oh boy, that's a familiar face I haven't seen in a little while. Oh dear. Okay, so on the side of Durham College, I see currently we have Benny S, we have Volts, and we have Vitali, which of course is a former player here at the St. Clair College, and I'm not sure if he's currently a player or a coach, but either way, that is quite amusing, getting to compete up against an old colleague of sorts. And I know Vitali, extremely competitive guy. Nice guy, don't get me wrong, but very competitive. No matter which team he's on, he wants to go all the way. He wants to win, and he wants to put the hurt on as best as possible. They're still just waiting on one of the players on the side of Durham. Seems to be a little bit of a connection issue for him. Should not be too much longer, hopefully. But of course, before we do hop into game number 1 of this best of 5 series, I do want to thank the sponsors that, of course, make this all possible. That being, of course, St. Clair Alumni Association, St. Clair College Alumni Association, excuse me, PC Outlet, Zuckman School of Business and IT, St. Clair College itself, of course, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. Thank you, of course, for making St. Clair Saints possible and letting us have this awesome esports action as we get ready to hop into the game. Game number 1, we're going to have the St. Clair Saints in the blue and Durham College in the orange. It's scary for a second. We had ourselves a black screen, but we're getting back into the action. Looking forward to this best of 5. Of course, Volts, Vitali, and Drew's Clues is actually on the side of Durham College. So especially knowing now that Vitali is on the field and he wants to win, that this is going to be an absolute slobber knocker. It just goes forward. That shot was barely going wide. And Fusion's going to be able to carry this up for the time being. I see Vitali trying to charge on in, but has Volts taking it into the St. Clair zone, going towards the net. Vitali is going to get the first goal here in this series. I'm sure he's absolutely loving that one as Volts gives him the pass off the backboard. Fusion could not get up there to challenge. So Durham College off to a good start, of course. Only 40 seconds into this one. Kamal Kariz And Fusion looking to get this thing kick-started back right up. And oh my goodness, stuck on the crossbar. Can it actually get knocked in? The bounce, Vitaly tried to clear it, but I believe that was Kariz right on the line, able to just hold it there, coming back from even inside the net. Going to put on enough of a pinch to make sure this one gets tied up nice and quickly. Not going to let Durham College get any momentum started whatsoever. Off the face-off, it's going to go into the St. Clair zone until Kariz is able to try and push this towards neutral. Fusion goes up to the skies, pushes this towards the net. It's going to go off the left crossbar, or off the post rather, and Fusion, again, going to find himself a goal. First one in this game, just getting his own rebound essentially off the post. And unfortunately there, for the side of Durham College, they could not get somebody there in time to get the rebound off the post. So now, St. Clair has completely flipped this one, as it is a 2-1 game with only a minute gone by so far. Vitaly in the St. Clair zone with the challenge, looking to get his own rebound, but it is going to be stopped by Kariz. And I'll tell you what, this Durham squad, they have a lot of aggressive players from what I've seen so far. Lots of players constantly wanting to be across that halfway mark, and very few times have I seen anybody but Volts go back into the net. If he is the designated defender, designated goaltender of sorts, that could go to bite Durham if they keep trying to push it. As we see, Fusion passes it off to Kamal, but Kamal's not going to be able to find the shot necessary. Drew's Clues gets absolutely demolished by Kamal, sends him back to his spawn for the moment. Kamal from the net is going to pass this off to Kariz. Kariz back to the center where Kamal is waiting. Pushes it back. Vitaly back in the Durham zone. Tries to get it past Kamal, but Kamal's not going to let that happen. Another solid block, and now Kariz is going to bounce it off the boards. Fusion going to try and meet it to the middle, but he's not going to find that shot. Not this time. Vitaly shot on target. Kamal's going to go up top to meet him on the crossbar, and Volt's getting extremely aggressive, just launching himself towards Kamal. And it's going to keep it into the St. Clair zone for the time being. As Vitaly, I think, bounces it forward. Volts gets the shot, but it's going to get denied by Kariz. Drew's Clues with the center to Vitaly, but Fusion there to interfere with the shot at hand, so it's back in the left corner. Kamal has an opportunity to break out, however, so it's going to push this back into the Durham zone. No shot at the time, though. Vitaly going to find himself with a save there. Drew's Clues and Volts both going up for that one. But Drew's Clues going to stop for his time being. Vitaly going to shut down that shot as well. Getting demoed by Fusion. And from the top, huge shot from Kariz, but an even bigger save from Volts. Kamal pushes it into the corner once again. Gets past Volts. Is there anybody for the follow-up? Drew's Clues going to interfere with it just a tiny bit. Vitaly in net. It's a bit of an awkward spot to try and get at, but Drew's Clues going to go above the crossbar. Is going to be met by Kamal. Ends up getting clear to the center line where Fusion is awaiting the pass. Shot from Kariz from center. Going to find its mark. 3-1 now after Fusion and Volts collide up on the rooftops, and Kariz is actually able to get there before Vitaly, and he puts it dead center into the net. With a minute 40 left, we have St. Clair taking this lead by 2 with this 3-1 game. Kamal gets a fantastic start here off the face-off, pushing it right into the Durham zone. Pass from Kariz to Fusion on target. Volts with the save, though. Vitaly going to try and carry this past center, pushes it over to Volts. Volts completely whiffs the shot. Vitaly's going to be forced to try and do it himself. Does get it towards the net, but could not quite find it. Gets another opportunity to pass to Volts, but you can really tell that some of the aerial plays here from Volts is not exactly where he is comfortable. Drew's Clues doesn't mind. Vitaly definitely doesn't mind, but Volts seems to be a very grounded player overall, and it is kind of hindering some of these passing attempts here from Vitaly and Drew's Clues. Vitaly from center, going to bring it in himself, but Kariz is going to be there to stop it. Volts rides the wall and is able to at least put it towards the net. Centering attempt just ends up going to Vitaly, brings it right back in. Double commit from St. Clair. It's going to put them in a bit of a rough spot. Volts, with a little bit of a hop, going to be able to push it back into the corner where Drew's Clues is waiting. Vitaly shot on target, just a bit wide actually. Drew's Clues back up to the sky. Volts going to try and make something happen in the air. He's a little bit slow, but he did get it on target. Kariz going to stop that, however. Vitaly, another shot on target, but it's going to Fusion. Kamal now. Going to try and clear it. Missed his mark, however. It's going to give Volts the opportunity to at least pelt it back into the corner and then go back on defense. Chris lobs it, but it's going to be stopped by Drew's Clues once again. 15 seconds left on the clock. St. Clair looking to just finish this off and get game number 1 in the bag. Shot by Fusion, going to get stopped by Volts. 5 seconds remaining. And St. Clair are going to take this one. Whether it's going to be a 3-1 or a 3-2, we'll have to see. It looks like 3-1 is in fact going to be the case. So a scary start for a second there from Durham Lords. They came out swinging. Were able to get that first goal without Vitali taking that one. Like I was saying before, I'm sure that one felt good. But unfortunately for him and the rest of the Durham Lords squad, it instantly got flipped on its head right after the fact. We get ready to hop into game number 2. Always one thing I like about Rocket League is these guys just always banging out every single game, back to back to back, no breaks, keep the momentum flowing. As we get game 2 underway, of course, St. Clair taking that first one. Sitting pretty in this series right now. Rays in the corner, off to Kamal. Shot. He tries to gets the pass, but does not end up making it to him. Vitali kind of shut that one down as they push it forward into the St. Clair zone. Pass right to Vitali, right on target. Huge play, actually. A nice pass from Drew's Clues from the corner. Goes up to the skies, and he's going to be able to bounce it off the wall. And sure enough, the charging Vitali going to get it past Fusion. So once again, Durham Lords going to find themselves in the lead with a few seconds into this first game. I don't know what or into the second game rather. I don't know what it is about these first couple seconds for Saints, but it feels like something either goes, it's a matter of two extremes. Either they completely demolish a squad and get a goal right away, or they get scored on within the first like 30 to 40 seconds. And it's looking a little rough here as we do see Drew's Clues with another shot, but thankfully for the side of St. Clair, that is going to go off the post. Kamal chasing down Volts, and he's going to be able to take to the skies. Volts tries to do the same, but did not find it either. But a huge denial from the shot of Fusions by Vitali. Has a good amount of boost, ready to make something happen as Kamal starts moving forward, but Vitali not going to let that happen. He's chasing it himself. Shot on target, going to be denied by Fusion. Grace with the decent deflect. It's going to force Volts to come back and hang on to this. But it does actually kind of bounce in front of Fusion, but also bounces in front of Vitali. And he's going to clear that for the time being and denies Kariz's clearing attempt. So it's going to get stuck here in this St. Clair zone just a little bit longer. Volts, shot on target, stopped by Kariz. Fusion with it into the Durham corner, but Drew's Clues passes it off. The hot pursuit of Volts tries to make something happen. Vitali with control for the moment. Bounces it off the roof. It's going to be in their zone, but it does at least go to Volts, who's completely out of gas here. No boost in the tank for him, so he's going to have to go back and pick some up. Otherwise, he's just going to be dead weight here. As we see Kariz in the offensive zone. Jukes one, but it's not going to stop, or not going to get by Vitali, rather. As it goes back to center, Vitali going to carry it up. Try and make the play in the skies. He nearly got it. Fusion. Last second save there. Nice little delay on the flick from Vitali, nearly putting that into the top side. As we see the double commit come out here from St. Clair. Vitali rather, to Volts. Volts going to try and play it off the wall. Actually just lobs it up for Drew's Clues. Kamal going to stop that for the moment. Volts coming in hot. Can he get the shot off? Could not get it past Fusion. Just over 2 minutes left here to go in this second game. Durham College getting that first goal, getting that lead, but been able to hang on to it. As we see a 2-on-2 breakout opportunity here. It does get stuffed out. Kamal going to be forced into the corner. And there we go. Volts is making the wall work for him. It feels like he's a little bit slow on the aerial play, but he's making up for that with fantastic use of the wall and has been much more of a factor in this second game. As we see the ball kind of stuck in the Durham Lords crease. We see Drews trying to get it out. Vitali bringing it across center. Kariz going to shut that down, but here's Volts once again. This is going to go bouncing right in front of Drews. The one-timer comes out, but it's going to go wide. Tries to get his own rebound where Vitali is waiting. Shot hits the crossbar. Volts hits the crossbar, but it does come back in. 2-0. Durham College Volt's getting himself on the board right when his team needed it, adding a little bit of extra insurance here to possibly take game number 2. Granted, just under a minute 30 left in this game. Still plenty of time for St. Clair to get something done. But I guess it's not that much time when you really think about it. That minute goes by pretty quickly unless you're, if you're watching an LCU game, if you know what I'm saying. But different matchup, different team. As we have Kariz centering it. It's on target. Vitali going to stop that in its tracks. Kamal taking it to the skies, matched by Drews. Vitali gets it once again after Fusion's clear, did not hit the mark. Volt, shot on target, going to hit the crossbar. Vitali gets it past one, looks to try and get past another. It did interfere with it a bit, so it didn't end up being a shot on target at all. Fusion going to be forced to go to the skies once again to clear it, and Vitali's going to go up there and meet him. Not going to let him get this anywhere near the net. That being said, another shot and another huge save. Vitali absolutely all over the place here in this game. 30 seconds on the clock. St. Clair needs something, and they need something quick. But every time they take to the skies now, either Drews or Vitali are there to match, and then Volt's goaltending is like to his live's content, doing a fantastic job of it so far in this second game. St. Clair haven't been able to get a solid shot towards it without there being somebody pretty much ready to go. As I say that, the attempt was there, but Vitali once again going to just send this thing all the way to the other side. And a nice redemption arc here for Durham College as they are going to take this game. As whether it be 2-1 or 2-0, that'll be the question, but it is going to be 2-1. Kariz is going to find the goal, but unfortunately too little, too late. Granted, they're not getting shut out in this game, but this one is still going to be going over to Durham College after the team definitely showed up to play this time by. We'll just take a look at the stats real quick as this screen's up. Let's see here. Of course, the only goal for Saints is on Kariz, but there is just so many shots across the board on the side of Durham Lords with 12, it appears, and then Vitali and Volts were just doing a fantastic job on defense. And just Durham Lords fantastic overall. So a solid game number 2 from that squad. We might be going all the way here tonight. Do we get a game number 5? It's kind of feeling like it at this rate if it keeps going back and forth like this. As game number 3 now underway. Can St. Clair go 30 seconds without getting scored on in the opening round? That is what I'm curious about, as we see Vitali once again going to send it into the corner. Kamal's there to answer it, but Volts is coming in hot. That's going to be falling right in front of the goal line, but it is going to be denied by Kariz. Goes back towards the net. Fusion there to try and carry it away, but it just goes right to Volts instead, who puts it towards the net. Another save from Kariz. Fusion goes up to stop Vitali, and it's still kind of just hovering around the neutral zone. Kariz completely out of juice. Is going to try and carry this forward. It does end up just leaving it there, but Vitali not going to take any time wasted and just gun it towards the skies and hit the ball into the zone of St. Clair. That being said, it's coming back. Kamal not going to find the angle he was looking for. Just going to bounce it back off the backboard. Kariz shot attempted, but instantly interfered with. Kamal missed his mark. Vitali and him battling for the ball. And Drew's Clues taking Kariz down. That could have been scary, but Vitali does hit the crossbar. Still tons of pressure here on the St. Clair net. Kamal nearly colliding with his teammate to try and get something done defensively. But they're going to be able to space each other out. And cheers, we've made it past a minute without anything too crazy. But still definitely back and forth matchup here between both of these teams. Fusion just going to plow through Vitali, just send it back into the corner. Kamal, this is going on target, going to hit the backboard. Is there going to be any follow-up? Kariz just did not think he had the angle, so did not pull the trigger. Just going to allow Drew's Clues to bring it into his own corner. Is somebody going to be able to get the shot off? Not quite, as Vitali is there to bump it towards Drew's Clues. Drews puts it into the Saints' corner. Volts thinking about making the move, but it's going to be denied as Kamal moves forward. Volts gets interfered with a little bit at the center line, going to allow Kariz and Drews bounce back and forth. Volts with a little bit of payback there onto Fusion after the initial check in the neutral zone. Sent him back to spawn for the moment. Drew's in the Saints corner. Vitaly on target, off the crossbar again. Volts trying to get a rebound, but it goes wide to the left side of the Saints net as we see Drew's once again there to answer. Fusion in the Saints corner, doesn't quite get the shot he was looking for. It's a clearing attempt finally coming out here. That would have been Kamal, I believe, who got a piece of that one. And Vitaly and Volts are going to work together to clear this together, and Kamal getting demoed as Vitaly drives by, and now Durham's in the offensive zone until Kariz actually finds a breakout opportunity, but Volts is going to definitely sacrifice his car for that one, but he made the save to keep this at a 0-0 game. Kamal's shot going to be deflected aside by Volts. Kariz tries to slow it down. Drews is not going to fall for that, though. Just passes it off to the left for Volts. Volts to Vitaly. Kamal and Vitaly go up to challenge each other. Just ends up going straight up, and it ends up on the bumper of Drew's Clues. And then after that, it does get cleared out, but Volts has it in his own zone. To Vitaly. Then off to Drew's Clues once again. Volts gets a piece of it, but it may have gone backwards, it looks like. Vitaly and Fusion colliding up into the skies once again. Volts shot towards the backboard. Is there any follow-up? Kariz is going to be the one to clear it for the time being, all the way into the back corner of the Durham zone. Fusion on target, going to be stopped by Vitaly. Kamal going to gather it up in the middle, pushes it forward. Drew's Clues is there on defense, however. Shot denied once again. Nice tip from Volts, actually. Right on target. Going to force Kariz to get there just in the nick of time. Centered. Kariz and Drew's going to be racing for it. Drew's going to get the first touch on it, but Kamal sends it right back into the corner. Fusion up top. Less than a minute in this third game. Could have ourselves an overtime for game number 3 at this rate. 30 seconds left to go. Fusion and Vitaly battling for it right next to the St. Clair net. Barely going to go in the Fusion's favor as it takes to the skies and just outside the crease. Drew's Clues brings it back in, but Kariz going to stop that for the time being. He's trying to play it a little bit slower, but Vitaly had that read like a book. He's going to actually pass this off to Drew's Clues, who gets the shot on target just off the backboard. Vitaly looking for it. No, that's actually Volts looking for it, and that's another huge goal here for Volts. Got technically the game winner in the last one, and he very well may have just found it once again. Not the flashiest of players, but he definitely is coming in clutch here for Durham College. Time ticking down, and it looks like there is some sort of issue on the side of Kariz. Just disconnected and reconnected. St. Clair going to secure, or no, not St. Clair securing it. Durham Lords, Durham College going to secure game number 3. And that time, Volts once again coming in absolutely clutch when the team needed him. Just shots in general across the board here from Durham. They've just had more offensive opportunities all over the board here compared to what St. Clair have been able to muster. Three shots apiece compared to 1 shot apiece on the side of St. Clair. You can definitely tell, like, just every opportunity that St. Clair had, it felt like it was matched instantly from Durham College. There was always somebody back there on defense. They could not get anything started. And we got to hope here for the hometown squad here for the St. Clair Saints. We need to see some Griffs in chat because we need your energy for game number 4 to bring this to a game 5 scenario. Because the offense from Durham College has been looking absolutely fantastic in those last couple rounds. Off the start, it's once again kind of stuck in the St. Clair zone. Just about the half point, Volts taking to the skies again and actually is going to get challenged. Kariz clears it finally. Drew's Clues is going to go back to catch this. Kariz with the forecheck, pushes it forward, but Vitaly is going to try and carry it out himself. Does get past Fusion. Oh no, he nearly got him. Fusion with the little extra love tap there to get the demo. Like, oh, you might have juked me out, but now you don't have a car. At least for a couple seconds. Drews puts it to center. Can Vitaly find it? Not going to. Kuriz with a huge save. Kamal with a 1v1 attempt versus Volts, but Volts is going to deny it. Kuriz's demo attempt completely misses the mark. It's going to be a slow mover. Kuriz once again now going to find Vitaly, who was, of course, sitting in the crease of St. Clair's zone. Just not going to let that happen. Kamal keeps it into the zone. Kuriz shot going to be a little bit of an awkward angle, but Volt's still going to be able to make the save. Makes it towards the net. Fusion going to push it forward. Kamal with the clearing attempt going to be interfered with a little bit by Volts, and now Vitaly has control. Pops it over Kuriz, right to Volts actually. Huge play there from Vitaly and Volts. Once again, nearly making the passing play connect. But it was denied in the end. Volts sends it into the St. Clair zone, going to be matched by Fusion, then picked right back up by Vitaly. Kamal gets checked aside. Drew's Clues in the corner with it. Sends it down. Volts with the shot. Going to be denied. Vitaly is now there. Going to wait for defenders to make the move. Kuriz not going to get juked out, however. Reads the weight there from Vitaly. The shot from Drews was still on point. Another shot possibly from Vitaly. Nearly going to find the defense on that one. And this is feeling very similar to the last game where St. Clair just can't keep it out of their end. Volts on target once again. It just pops up high into the crease of St. Clair, and it stays in the corner. Vitaly just not letting St. Clair move here. Drews over Fusion. It's on target. Volts looking for the finisher. Not going to find it. Kamal going to make the save. Cleared once again. Kamal with an additional touch, but it's actually going towards the center. Kuriz going to put it forward. Kuriz with the tap. Gets a double tap, but it's going to be saved by Vitaly. Vitaly, Kamal was a little bit late, unfortunately. Vitaly going to run for it, just going to carry it all the way in. Looks for Volts, but Volts was just too far ahead. But he does have Drew's Clues here for backup. From Drews to Vitaly to center, almost to Drews again. Right back on the side, carries it for the time being, puts it under Kuriz, but just ends up going into the corner. Volts fires it, but he goes a little bit too high. Now Fusion trying to get it out, but Drew's Clues right there once again. Sends it over to Vitaly. Now off to Volts in the other corner. Kuriz is there battling him out. But the pass to Fusion's going to attempt to get the clear. But yeah, it just feels like you're playing... it's like you're playing squash right now. You know when you hit the ball and you're trying to clear it, but it just ends up going into the wall and it comes right back? That's what it feels like right here. As St. Clair just can't seem to get a break. It just keeps coming back. Fusion might find the opportunity, though. Right as I say that, apparently I have to do reverse psychology to get St. Clair some offense opportunities. Not biased at all, I swear. Drew's Clues on target again. Kuriz with the save. Fusion tries to push forward, but again, Volts with control. Kamal to the skies, but matched right away by Drew's Clues. There is not anywhere in this arena that Durham is not afraid to challenge. And they've been doing a fantastic job not letting St. Clair breathe in the slightest. 10 seconds left to this game. Can somebody finish this thing before overtime? We may have an opportunity. Kamal in the zone of Durham, but it's going to be interfered with by the Durham squad once again. Fusion going to try and make something happen. Kamal with the shot. It's actually going on target. Volts is up top, however. They could possibly send this all the way back. But it is going to hit the ground. We are going to have overtime for game number 4. Of course, match point for Durham College. Saints need to get themselves on the scoreboard right here, right now. Otherwise, they are going to finish off this UCEA season with an L. And with an L from an old pal in Vitaly. Volts clearing it into the St. Clair zone, going to be met up by Kuriz, but he does have Drew's Clues right behind him. That hovers high of the crease. Volts keeps it into Vitaly. To Drew's Clues. Back in the corner. Stolen by Kamal. This could be a 3-on-2 breakout here for St. Clair. They may have found their opening. Vitaly going to shut that down right away. Bit of a cluster in the corner. It's not going to allow St. Clair to get any offense in. It's just going to allow Drew's Clues to hang on to it for the briefest of seconds. But that's an awkward angle actually there for Durham College. Vitaly once again, though, just getting enough of a piece of it to make sure that doesn't go towards the net. And now Drew's Clues is going to be able to collect his thoughts and collect the ball and move forward as it bounces just outside the crease of the St. Clair zone. Going to get it to about the middle. Drew's on hot pursuit, trying to find himself a goaltender to hunt. Vitaly carries it through center, able to get by all of the St. Clair defenders as of this moment. Fusion going to be able to collect it, though. Interfered with by Drew's Clues. Going to force Kariz to bounce it off the roof and try to get it out of here. Vitaly going to say no to that one. Going to force Fusion up now. Now it's Volts getting stopped by Fusion. Drew's Clues there once again just to punt it to the side. Has it in the corner. It's slowly rolling towards the crease of Durham, but Volts is going to stop it. Does get stolen by Fusion. Fusion gets past two, gets it to center still, but Volts is right there to shut it down. 2 minutes currently into this overtime. The intensity is definitely high. St. Clair finally able to keep it in this zone for the first time in what feels like a good while. The last 30 seconds or minute or so, they were finally on the offense. It felt like this entire game, and maybe even the last 2 games, they've just been stuck in their own zone. Finally looking for something to get started. Shot on target, going to be stopped by Volts. Can they keep the pressure up, or can Durham turn this around or just hang back as much as possible? Curious to see how this one will end up as Volts from the goaltender to the offender all the way up the side. But Kamal, shot on target. Volts going to get, or no, that might have been Vitaly actually, getting enough of it just to send it up high. That was the rebound coming out here from St. Clair. Fusion just launching himself into the net to try and put that thing in. Did not quite find its mark. But Kamal to Kariz. Classic combo there from St. Clair, missing its mark. Not able to clear. Rebound attempted from Drew, but not going to find it. Good check there from Kariz to push Vitaly off the ball. But Volts is there for the backup. Just going to drop right in front of the net, but Kamal going to push it aside once again. Good check onto Vitaly again, leaving him with no boost. And it gives St. Clair the opportunity to move in for at least a moment. Vitaly gets around Kariz, gets the pass the shot, but a nice attempt from Volts. A rebound from Vitaly. Did not make it onto target. Drew's Clues coming in as well, but not going to find it. This ball is right on target, but Volts is back to stop. Kamal centering attempt, but going to be denied. Vitaly once again. Fusion to the skies, tries to center it. Is anyone there for the shot? I think that was Kariz. Had the opportunity, gave it a chance. Kamal, shot on target, but again, stopped by Volts. Only Fusion back to defend versus 2. Can he hang on just long enough to get the rest of the Saints nearby? Looks like he's going to be successful in doing that, as we are now 4 minutes into this game, or into this overtime rather. Volts shot on target. Vitaly was coming in hot. A good save from Fusion just to shut that down before anything too crazy got started. If this goes to a game 5, these players are going to be exhausted, but this could be scary. Vitaly right on target. Kamal misses his shot, but Fusion there to make sure that it gets out of dodge. And then Kariz meets the player up top. Kamal to Kariz. Off the backboard. Volts to the side, but Kamal has it once again. Fusion knocks it back in. Drew's Clues back into the corner. Kamal off the backboard, centering attempt. Kariz coming in hot. It's a bit of a slow ball, though. Can he lob it in? Not if Volts has anything to say about it, though. Fusion still off the roof. That was almost coming on target, but just a bit wide. Kamal once again taking to the skies. Can he put it in? He is in fact going to be able to. Right before that 5-minute mark, Kamal puts it in the net after taking to the skies, and he puts it past Volts. We have ourselves a game 5. Durham nearly tasted the match victory. They had all the aggression in the early portion of this game. It was pretty much up until overtime that St. Clair was, just, to be honest, just getting pounded on shot after shot after shot. But something about like the last minute of overtime, or after the first minute of overtime, St. Clair really turned it on at the end there, and was able to put on equal, if not more, pressure then Durham College. Going to put us here into this Game 5 scenario. Regardless of result, big shout out to both of these teams putting on an absolute show here today. This is what I like to see. Yeah, Fusion taking the breather there for a second in between games. Don't blame him. I know personally I could use the breather a bit myself. That game by itself was probably just as long as the LS or LCU series, but we'll hop into game number 5. Volts moving forward. He may have juked the defense from St. Clair, but it is going to be stopped by Chariz. Oh, and they're getting as violent as you can with these little rocket cars right off the start. Never mind playing the ball, but playing the player. Sometimes I like to see this little difference as game 5 now underway, of course, 20 seconds in. Fusion with the ball, looking to make the play across from Vitali, but he is going to get stopped. Bounced off the boards. Here comes Kamal off the backboard. Vitali going to try and collect it. Going to be able to move this forward. Punts it into the corner. Controlled by Chariz, denied by Volts. Puts it back in where Vitali is ready and waiting. Drew's Clues not far behind as well. Drews with the shot. Gets his own rebound as well, but Fusion with a good save. Vitali to Volts. Back to Vitali, and then off the defender of St. Clair, Vitali getting himself another goal here in this series, and let alone another first goal of the game. Punts it in. Fusion was just at the worst possible angle considering the direction he was moving. There was no way he could have made that save, and sure enough, Durham College takes the lead, putting the pressure on to St. Clair right off the bat. Neither of these teams want to finish off this UCEA season with an L. And they're definitely pushing hard for it. Vitali gets his own rebound off the backboard to Volts. Volts is going to miss it, but Drew's Clue is going to be there for backup nonetheless. Fusion going to take it from him for the moment to Chariz now in the corner. Chariz to Fusion. This is its shot. Actually a bit of a messy spot here. Vitali was able to push it forward. Drews with the shot. Nobody home. 2-goal game now here for Durham College as they just put 2 in the net extremely quickly. Kamal was a little bit too late there. I don't know if he didn't have enough boost to make it high enough or what. But Drews getting himself on the board. Of course, like I said before, right when the team seems to need it most. These low-scoring games so far in this series. Every little bit counting, apparently. It's Kamal to Chariz. Shot going wide. Puts it into the right side. Tries to center it himself. Might be successful. Confusion find the shot. He's going to be able to get it, but it's going to just barely bounce off of Vitali off the crossbar and still have enough juice to cross over that line. A very close shot. I actually thought that was going to be stopped for the moment. But nope, unfortunately, for the side of Durham College, Vitali could not get all of that save. And now we have ourselves back within 1. I don't know what it is about the St. Clair teams, but they definitely like to try to give me a heart attack on a game-by-game basis. Always starting from behind and trying to fight their way back, putting on the best show possible. But we'll have to see what Game 5 Saints looks like. In the past, it's been strong, but this Durham Lords team is extremely strong as well. Chariz to Fusion, denied by Volts, but Chariz gets his own rebound to Kamal. Wasn't able to get control of it, but Vitali ends up just giving it over as Fusion plows through. Chariz with control, the extra little check over to Volts as well. Chariz towards the net. Vitali just going to pick this up nice and calmly. Tries to put it over Chariz. Drews to the skies. Volts is there, but so is Chariz. Shot not going to happen, at least not this time, but it does get centered. Vitali going to pick this up once again, bounce it off the backboard, and put it into the St. Clair corner. Drews with the shot on target, going to take 2 Saints to stop this one, but they do manage to get it. Volts in the corner with Fusion. A bit of a stalemate here as the ball is loose. Chris with control for the moment. Vitaly over to Volts now. Punts it into the corner. Volts with forward check, nearly catching Fusion off guard. We see Drews going to knock this towards the net, going to force Fusion to blow every little bit of boost that he has left to make sure they can make that save. There's Clues, open net, and this is actually horrifying here for St. Clair. That is not what you want to see. Everyone was off collecting boost or something. Chris made the attempt to interfere with it and missed his mark. Drew's Clues had all the time in the world to just put that thing straight, and in fact he does do so. Game 5 with a minute 20 left on the clock. St. Clair are looking rough for wear, and they nearly found themselves in a similar situation, and I think some of the communication is starting to get shooken up here on this St. Clair squad. We see two members constantly diving at the balls from different directions. Nobody's claiming it. No one's calling their shots, it looks like. And sure enough, Durham College may have given St. Clair its match. They need 2 goals nice and quick to get this even into an overtime situation, which granted, St. Clair came in clutch, but can they even get there this time is the question. It's been stuck in their zone. It's been stuck in the neutral zone for the last couple seconds. That was a bit of an awkward one, though, however. Kamal wasn't able to get all of it. It's not very often that the team just straight up passes you the ball right into the center. I wouldn't have been expecting it either. A good little check there from Vitaly on the challenging. Oh my goodness! I did not expect that to go down, but 2 demos, that is a rough way to go through. Kamal even challenges it, but Volts just takes him down after the shot was already made. Durham College looking like they're going to run away with this one and run away with this series, as we are right around the corner. Definitely going back and forth, and now you see Vitaly is just on an absolute headhunting spree, checking as many players as possible. And this one is looking rough. St. Clair finally in the zone, but nothing is going their way today. And Durham College going to take this one 3-2. I'm sure that is a victory that feels extremely good for Vitaly, of course. Of course, I kept mentioning his name pretty consistently throughout this matchup, but of course was one of our students, one of our players for the longest time, and then went to go over and work for Durham. And obviously, he's got that team fighting pretty well, if I do say so myself. Did a fantastic match here tonight, and I'm going to take this one in 3-2 fashion. St. Clair just, they lost whatever momentum they had from Game 4, it looks like. They just could not get anything started. Was stuck in their zone pretty much the entire game, and they tried to make a push at the end, but it was just too little, too late. That extra little demo at the end there when Volts took the shot just sealed the deal. Even if they were able to somehow make 2 miraculous back-to-back goals, it just was not going to happen that time. So, of course, solid game nonetheless. Was an extremely good showcase from both squads. And before we do close out, of course, do want to go over what is going to be coming up next here on the Saints Gaming CA channel, because most of our regular season matches have been completed at this point. There's still a couple maybe happening. I know Call of Duty, for example, still has their regular season going on, but we also have a lot of postseason. So let's break it down real quick, and let's see what is here up next. I know tomorrow is going to be busy, as we have ourselves 2 playoff matches lined up for you. As of course, in UCEA action, the Overwatch team will get underway at 6 o'clock. Then at 8 o'clock, we get some more Rocket League action, this time in the NACE playoffs. Then on Wednesday, League of Legends OPSE action returns, as Carleton University goes up against St. Clair College. We haven't played them since the preseason, so looking forward to seeing how they've changed up their game. Last time it was a pretty close one. I'm looking forward to seeing how that happens. If Overwatch does win on Tuesday, they'll then play Thursday at 6 p.m. in additional UCEA action. But then after that, we have ourselves a little break. One, we got to see what happens with the Overwatch playoffs. There could be a match on Saturday, but we'll have to see because there's also TESPA Call of Duty action happening the same day. And of course, we're going to belt in as much content as possible here on the Saints Gaming CA channel. So be sure to follow if you're not done so already, here on Twitch, on the social media channels as well, and to our gigantic YouTube archive, of course, on YouTube, to catch all the VODs from since Saints began. But of course, one more time, big congratulations to Durham College on the victory, ending the season off right, and just showing that there's just multiple competitive threats here in Ontario. It makes this scene look that much better. And not to sleep on us Canadians as playoffs happen here, like I know most American teams like to do. But nonetheless, looking forward to seeing what happens to both squads, of course, as the UCEA playoffs goes along. And in terms of St. Clair, of course, they have UCEA playoffs starting next Monday. So for this league specifically, we'll see action next Monday. But of course, more Rocket League action will be happening tomorrow as well. And hopefully, the St. Clair squad can shake this one off. It was a tough one, a very back and forth game, or one that was like stuck in with moments of brilliance when they were able to break out. But it was a hard one, to say the least. But with that, we'll close out for now. Excuse me. But for now, we shall close out. Big thank you again to everybody for tuning in. Always a pleasure casting for everybody supporting their classmates, their friends, their family, or even just their school's programs. Always a pleasure having you in, whether you're on the Saints side or you're on the opposing team's side. And then, of course, big thank you to the sponsors that make these matches all possible, make these broadcasts happen. And, of course, that would be St. Clair College Alumni Association, the St. Clair College SRC, Tim Hortons, St. Clair College itself, obviously, Zuckelman School of Business and IT, and PC Outlet. Of course, thank you all for making this possible. If you wish to follow any of my personal stuff here, of course, Mr. Danner is getting back in action. Now that I might have a little bit of extra time on my hands, might do my own, not my own thing, but maybe a couple chill streams here and there. But you can follow me on Mr. Danners on Twitter if you wish to do that. But the main thing, of course, make sure you follow this St. Clair channel, because there's way more action right around the corner this week, and you won't want to miss it. I will see you tomorrow for Overwatch and Rocket League.